Hi, today I want to talk about COVID. COVID is going to be a very interesting thing. I'm going to give you a summary of what I know, what I found on the internet. It's a diary, by the way. I was forced by my son to start this diary. So I'll talk about anything that I know. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, but I'm sure you're going to learn something from this as well. And in this topic, I want to talk about the immunity. I want to talk about antibody. I want to talk about the preventive as well as the therapeutic uh, treatments that you can do to help yourself, and what you can do if you decide to be vaccinated, what you can do if you decide not to be vaccinated. Of course, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give you any advice. In the end, you will have to make your own risk assessment as in whether you would like to take the vaccine or not. I'm not here to tell you any of that things. Let's just talk about it right now. I've been watching several channels, doctors that encourage vaccinations, doctors that think maybe you have to think twice about vaccination because of all the funding that was at the back. I come across a guy who is actually several of them pretty natural. They want to find out facts, they want to find out data, they want to talk about things. They don't make conclusions. They just find out figures, present it in Excel, so you take a look at all information. There's a guy, actually a very good doctor, I would say. His name is Dr. Suni Dan from USA. He used to be from UK. You might want to search him out. Um, you realize that I don't have any descriptions below because I just record and post it. I'm forced by my son to do this channel, so I don't want to spend time doing the editings or the descriptions. Anyway, it's just a hobby. Now, COVID is a virus. Virus has got spike protein. Spike protein is like a key. So it has got the key that can open the door of the cell, which has a receptor. So as long as the key matches each other, and I mean, the key has got certain holes, right? So just think of it like that. So the spike protein and the receptor, as long as it match, the cell will open up and allow the virus to get in. So they do their own things inside. So I don't want to make it too hard to understand. So immunity is very important because immunity actually is a immune system. System, when I say immune system, it means there's more than one thing. Most of the people will think that antibody is everything. No, that's not the thing. That's in fact the least important thing. That's the defense. That's the defense mechanism in the immune system. I would say the least important thing, but that's the last level of protection. So antibody. Before that, you have a lot of types of protections. For example, you have T cell, you have white blood cell, you have B cell, which has the memories of what type of virus to attack. So T cells, in fact, in my opinion, if you understand about wars or you fight or you play games, you know that attack is actually the most important thing in a system. So immune system have T cell as well. T cell, in fact, is the most important thing. You want to keep your body as healthy as possible by having vitamin C, vitamin D, exercise, drinking some waters, having enough sleeps. All these are very important, and they will help you to have a stronger immunity. And when you have a stronger immunity, your T cell attack all kinds of virus, regardless of the variant. They don't know whether you're COVID or not. I don't care. I kill. So that's the most important thing. You have to do that. And the preventive measure is that people is now encouraging you to take vaccine because what vaccine do is cut a shot. Vaccine is basically a virus or a virus part or a message that imitate a virus and put it into your body. So your body will think, how are we got a virus attack? And they start to create all kind of antibodies, or they try to recreate or duplicate or create some kind of antibodies according to what they perceive is the type of virus attack, for example, COVID. So they come into your body, they have antibody. What antibody do is that the spike proteins of the cell is this, and antibody will just come and match it so that it becomes not possible to go to the receptor. It just can't get in because the key is different, something like that. So the T cell will come along and kill the virus, destroy it. The white blood cell will engulf it as well. So this is actually the immune system. But is there any therapeutic, how do you pronounce it? Therapeutic, sorry, okay, therapeutic measures against virus? Yes. There's several of them, which I think the best one so far, based on my own research. You have to do your own research. There are many information about that. So don't take my words for it. It's called ivermectin. I'm not gonna type it out. So ivermectin. Ivermectin is proven in many countries. Some parts of India because it's off-label. Some parts of Indonesia because it's off-label. Brazil. Some parts of Africa, as well as Paraguay. You gotta check it out yourself. It's off-label, and that's why it was not properly recorded. And WHO is not recommending it. WHO is not recommending it is a strange thing to me as well. Why are you not recommending this thing? Why only this thing and not the rest of the things? Okay, so it's a great start, by the way. But make your own risk assessment. That's gonna save life, especially for the first 2 to 3 days. It serves like a vitamin. There's no side effect. Some allergics. That is like so minimal. Most people don't even feel anything about it. It's really good stuff. Especially the first 2 to 3 days. If you consume it, it can be life saving. Really important. It's very cheap. Very cheap. How are you gonna get it? I don't know. So you have to find out yourself. Vaccine. Do I believe in vaccine? And do you believe in that vaccine? The first thing you have to think about is the vaccine has a lot of great theory about how it works. Because I can tell you how a car functions. Get in the car, and the car will be self-driving. You get out there. There's no accident. It can visualize by itself. The sensor will know the car is coming before you know it. Sometimes you can't see something at the corner, but in reality, it's a different thing. So because in reality, it depends a lot on more than just the theory. The theory wise, yeah, it's good. The data is good. Excel is good. The writing is good. Everything is good. I know what is this ingredient. I know what is this too. I know how it works. I know how to put this together. But in reality, that's not how it works because it always comes back into the productions, the process of all the things, the ingredient that you use, how you react on certain people, whether there's any long-term effect, whether there's any adverse effect instantly, how is it going to affect your health and all these things, we do not know. Why do we say we do not know? First, it was firstly because it is still in for emergency use. Why is it not being approved yet? Because you don't have enough data to analyze that. I'm not talking about enough number of patients here. I'm talking about enough numbers of time. So the time is also one of the criteria to be used for the assessment of whether it is actually working or not. For instance, for you have the data for 1 year, but we definitely don't have that for 2 years, for 3 years to know the side effect and so on. But of course, you make your own assessment as in whether you want to be vaccinated. Is because it can be good, it can be bad. We don't know. We don't know. Okay, we don't have the fact. That's the thing. We don't have the fact. Interestingly, Singapore and UK has decided not to lock down anymore. That means they let the people do whatever they want, and everything will be based on self risk assessment. That means if you want to wear a mask, you wear a mask. If you want to be close to somebody, you be close to somebody. If you don't want to be close to somebody, it's up to you. And would you want to be vaccinated or not? But so they're going ahead to unlock the systems, talking about unlocking the economy. I think that's a good idea. Seriously, because I think herd immunity, the natural herd immunity is going to do the work. I'm not talking about the vaccinated herd immunity. That's a different thing. Long story short, vaccine is proven not virus proof because they have got 90% efficacy for certain brain and they have got 50% efficacy for the other brain. What I was saying that is they don't have confidence that it will not be infected with virus or moving from stage 2 to stage 3 to stage 4, which is ICU, hospitalizations, side effects. So it's not virus proof. And they talk about the changes of the variants as well. So you'll be playing the dog catching its own tail things. You keep on spinning around, but uh, it's always never being guaranteed. You need boosters after boosters after boosters. And now there's a very political word that I feel should not be used, which is, I mean, should not be used by the media. That word is anti-vaxxer. I don't think people are anti-vaccine. Okay? Anti-vaxxer, they are not against vaccine. They are just not sure of the effectiveness of the vaccine. They just want to wait and see. Like, do you think people are against BCG that was proven with 7 years of data out of billions of people that they only have uh, so small numbers of people getting allergic, not talking about that. Of course, we trust that, that's a different thing. Mm, am I anti-vaxxer? No, I'm not. Um, in fact, I don't think people that does not take vaccine are anti-vaxxer. They just want to know. So have I taken vaccine? I'll tell you in the end. So in theory, mRNA, adenovirus, inactivated vaccines, they all work. But I mean, in theory, they all work. But in reality, are they really working? Like AZ, Pfizer, Sinovac, now coming out with Nanovac. Are they really working? Because you have to think about the production, you have to think about the process, the clinical test, one, phase two, phase three, and eventually to the public. Have they gone through the animal test? You have to find out about that. So what kind of tests are they doing? Are they doing RRR tests or are they doing ARR tests? So what is the what is the what's the transmission rate of all these viruses and all these things? So how do they measure this? You have to find out more about this. It's actually very interesting. Don't look at it from a scientific angles, but more of a storytelling angles. You just go and read it through. You find it really interesting. And the one of the things that I want to talk about, which most of people would not want to talk about, and I'll just keep it really short because I'm not trying to be politics here, but just think about it. All this medical research, who are funding them? Who are funding them? Would those unpopular medical research be funded? If no, would such medical research be carried out? It was not incentivized. And so everybody would try to do medical research that is popular, mostly funded. When they are being funded, talking about government, sometimes talking about private uh, pharmaceuticals, private companies, foundations, that they all have their own intention, their own objective, what they are trying to achieve in terms of objectives. Would they be happy to see a medical research that is not for their objective, or would they be happy to fund anything as long as they give you, as long as you obtain the truth, even if it's against the private company's objective to make some money? So you think about that. I'll think about it. We all think about it. I don't know. Okay, you think about it. What's the? I know we have to trust some authoritative body like WHO, FDA in US, CDC, and maybe you can also check out some non-profit organization like FLCCC. You'll find out something very interesting because I personally felt that the research that was being done by some medical scientists uh, that is not funded by any funders, but to do it on their own because they are rich enough to fund it themselves, maybe not in a huge scale, but there are these retired people that are never running out of money because they used to make a lot of money. And all these people, they are trying to come out and contribute to the society with some truth. These are the people that I feel you might have to give them a chance, not to discredit them straight away. Make your own comparison, write your own notes, do some Excel. You probably will find out something very interesting. Okay, this is all that I want to talk about. I'm not a doctor, so do your own risk assessment. And I just want to say that this is a diary. I was supposed to my son to do that, so give it a like. So my son will be very happy. Comment down below, subscribe. Um, Below 60, and it's going to be very very interesting. And so that's it. That's it. Stay safe.